Welcome back to the Budget Gamer channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Heroes of Monkey Tavern. This is definitely a game that I glossed over more than once, and let's just be honest, the name is laughable, and if you actually download the game and start playing it, so is the opening monologue. The story is really light. Basically, a band of 4 heroes drank away their money and someone told them how to get more, so they're tower diving. More or less, they just need to fight their way to the top floor of this dungeon tower in order to get enough money to keep drinking. But as comical as the title is, and as light as that story is, the gameplay is actually really solid. If you are a fan of the old classic Dungeon Master game, Heroes of Monkey Tavern is definitely going to be what you're looking for. Reminiscent of the old classic DOS and early PC games where you would 3-dimensionally navigate yourself block by block through a dungeon, Heroes of Monkey Tavern manipulates this system in a way that can take that sort of blocky, chunky feeling and makes it feel really natural. Unpolished versions of this style of game generally have things resolving directly in front of you as soon as you step into that block room, making everything more or less a surprise. Monkey Tavern actually focuses really highly on their graphic content, meaning that the block-by-block navigation style is merely that, the navigation style, not the end-all and be-all of what the game is. In the initial phase of the game, you're able to select the sprites for your 4 heroes from the storyline, as well as select their class and even allot some extra points. This particular aspect of the game reminds me a little bit of a D&D setup just because of how the points and stats are balanced. And given the surprising wealth of enemies to fight through this ever-changing dungeon, it really does feel a bit like a campaign. And similarly, even though your stats are allotted as a baseline in the early gameplay, the more you crush minions and uncover secret rooms, and dominate the occasional floor boss, you'll uncover items that allow you to manipulate your stats even further. These generally come in the form of weapons or armor, which augment your statistics. One of the coolest parts of the gameplay is the left-handed right-handed dynamic, which focuses on the A and B buttons, A being right hand and B being left hand, that allow you to select between magic or melee attack or defense. And this is again based on what you're holding. Spell users can equip spells to either hand but can only hold a staff in their left. Though if you want your healer to also have a dagger or a short sword, that's fine too. But the more you battle and encounter enemies and play with the right-handed, left-handed dynamic, the more changing them up will actually impede your progress. Because some of these fights get really intense and it becomes a reflex after a while. So if you change your healer's spell from a right hand to the left hand, you're probably going to accidentally attack or defend and cause more than one of your party members to die. But again, this level of customization, not only for the characters but for the actual player's playstyle, feels really awesome. As you progress up the tower, obviously things are going to get more difficult, but some stuff I really wasn't expecting was like the lair of the Minotaur, where the entire floor is an impassable maze with an unkillable Minotaur. And I have to say, playing in docked mode on a big screen TV at night, when I first heard that billowing roar, it actually did creep me out. The realism in the graphics and the audio of this game are pretty much unparalleled for the price point of $3. The only criticism I could ever have is that the secret wall panel buttons don't really stand out that much, but hey, they're secret wall panel buttons. If you made them super obvious, where would be the fun in finding them? Other than that, the audio for the game is incredibly engrossing, the sound effects are good, and the overall audio composition is stellar. Music ranges anywhere from eerie to daunting to triumphant at all of the right moments. And even though there's only about 10 actual dungeon levels in Heroes of Monkey Tavern, it will have you playing for about 6 or 7 hours straight. So again, for raw entertainment value, you're looking at spending about 50 cents per hour. And being that this game does have multiple classes and sprites, armor complements, and difficulty levels, it'd be hard to say that there's not at least a little bit of replay value. Overall, I'd have to say that I really wish I'd bought Heroes of Monkey Tavern earlier just because it's a really good game. And to spend $3 to have my entire birthday afternoon tied up playing a dungeon crawler was, I think, money well spent. Anyway, that about wraps up the review of Heroes of Monkey Tavern for the Switch. So if you enjoyed the review or found it helpful, feel free to throw me a like or a comment to show your support. And don't forget to click that little bell icon when you subscribe to stay updated with the latest content. These videos are coming out several times a week, so there's always going to be some new indie to find. And if you may want to support the channel, feel free to check us out on Patreon. But anyway, this has been Budget Gamer, so as always, thanks for watching.